Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
Namaste, Jai Shankar. Welcome to Satsang. Jai Shankar, Jai Shankar. Welcome to Satsang. So good to see all of you. Lovely to be in your presence. Thank you so much for being here, taking the time to be together. It's the most important, no? So what came today was, it came as a title, Pure Silence, Pure Silence. Usually I don't worry about the titles because by the time the title comes in the morning, in my meditation, and by the time I get here, Shambhu just kind of totally changes everything. So that's the reason I don't give any titles. But in any case, today it came as pure silence. So what is pure silence, right? We've gone through all the prerequisites for the newcomers, for those who have been here a few months or whatever it is. I know the advanced group, you already know it. Everything is on the YouTube, the prerequisites, the conscious living, the super conscious living, and a lot more. We are putting another new YouTube video sometime today or tomorrow. It's got a lot of information. So it's all up to you to delve deep into that information that's given, which is the supreme knowledge. So how do we get to that pure silence? We all have been working on that, right? All of you, the advanced students are pretty good. But how do you get and keep, how do you get to the pure silence? How do you keep it? And what has to be dropped to come to that space? That is the problem. What has to be dropped? First of all, you have to drop all attachments, even to the goal of enlightenment. Okay? You just have to have faith, supreme faith, that, okay, you have somebody sitting here and going blah, blah, and, you're guided. Initially, right? You have to stick to the Guru principle. You're guided, everything. Then when the Guru awakens within you, you don't need anybody, right? Everything is within you. So we're going to see what is that pure silence which is there, that supports us, that inspires us, everything at every moment. But to come to that, you'll have to drop everything from the Jagat, folks. You're still like going on social media and everything, You cannot do that. You just have to drop everything. Because, the mind, anyway, we'll go into the mind a little bit, but I want to get this out because it's been coming to me so much in the meditations. And if this one doesn't tell you, who else is going to say? So social media, why do we go to social media? Because there's some part of you which needs some entertainment, right? Or you think you're advanced students and you want to go and, uplift the world, inspire the world, whatever it is, I have no idea. Okay. So, groups like QAnon and all that, they're there radically trying to propagate whatever they're preaching in very flowery words. And you are samvit sadhakas. Okay. Samvit sadhakas means spiritual aspirants who cannot fall for all of those things. It's dividing, hatred and, violence. It's very toxic. Whereas, we need a samvit sadhakas to, see the diversity in all people and unite as one, wherever you are, whichever part of the world you are. So please, when you're sitting at the feet of Arunachala, which is grace of many, many lifetimes, you don't need to be interacting with such podiums who are always recruiting people. So I feel like the advanced students, you have the capacity to discern where is the discrimination, where is the discernment, where is the vairagya, dispassion, to delete all of this from your life so that you can come to that pure silence I'm talking about. So chop, everything chop, social media chop, everything chop, if you want to come to that pure silence of the grace of Arunachala, which is felt every moment in this one's life. And many of you who are advanced, who feel it, And when I'm talking about pure silence, in that pure silence alone, you can inspire, not going blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one has to go because God has put me here and you all want that knowledge and you want to purify. So how we go to that, come to that pure silence is dropping all of these agendas of the mind, agendas of social media. Take a break for 1 month and see the transformation, the majestic presentation in your life. It's magnificent. So why do you need anything else other than that magnificence which you are right now in this moment? That supreme reality, that effulgence. You are that eternal one, ancient one. You don't need anything else to give you, oh yeah, I'm involved in this group and so they make me feel good. Go question, what is that is making you feel good? Go question. It's all coming from the ego realm of the mind. You have to delete that. So how do you come to pure silence? Is to delete, simply drop the enchilada of the ego mind. So, if I say, like Ramana says, drop the mind and you're the self, you'll say, like, okay, that's not so easy. All of you who have been sitting here for a long time, I really appreciate. You've really, drunk the Vedantic truths that has been said. You are very committed. You have gone very deep. I really appreciate it. It's fantastic. But some of you are still struggling with the ego mind. And my point I'm humbly trying to bring it to you is that you are awareness itself. And every moment you are telling me that you're aware that the mind is sabotaging you. So when the mind comes to the back door and you know it is the mind, why are you sabotaged by it? Or why are you pulled to such an extent that there's so much suffering in your physical body, mental body, emotional body? Because you're attached to the emotions of the mind, which has been, you have to be very, kind to yourself. Okay. I always say, don't judge yourself. You be very kind, because for so many lifetimes, gazillion lifetimes, we have carried those belief systems that, I'm an intelligent person, I'm an erudite person, and my mind has been helping me all this. Or even if you don't give the credit to the mind, you're doing it. You're simply silently following the mind only what it says. And one important point, when you're being corrected by the Guru principle or the love through the grace transmissions are flowing through you, and you're not able to receive it, like you receive it initially and it's beautiful, few minutes you feel great, and then the whole enchilada is coming and it's completely dismantling your physical, right? You're feeling sick, you're feeling like miserable, really miserable. Then what do you have to do? You have to simply look at it. Sakshi means witnessing. Oh, this is all coming up to be released. So allow the releasing. But the reason it is so significantly, like goes in the mode of suffering is because there's a part of you which does not want to accept that help is coming because your old patterns are so strong. You get my point? So it's not just one person. In general, I'm talking about the beginning students or even the students who have been with us for a long time. You have to look at that ego positionality. Why are you so, there is a resistance within you that you don't want to drop, even if grace is coming and flooding your being and saying, I'm going to clear you out. It's not nothing that this one is doing. Simply Arunachala's grace. I just tune in, tune in, like the tiniest instrument in the world, like a speck of sand. That's all I feel. I don't even feel there's anything here. But if at all you want to call it an instrument or whatever, that's all you have to do. So when you recognize and you do take one sankalpa for one, sankalpa means intention. For those of you who don't know the Sanskrit words, take an intention, make a very committed intention for 1 month, saying that every time this agitation comes, okay, that you will simply delete, press the delete button. You're all professionals. Everything you say, oh, you can do that in the satsang, but I can't do it because I'm a professional, I'm a surgeon, I'm a so and so, right, CEO? When I do it, try and see. I'm not saying not to do your work. You have to do your work. But with what authenticity and truth? Everywhere the authenticity and truth has to prevail in every part of your life, every aspect of your life. It cannot say like, I'm sitting at satsang so I can be very authentic and truthful, but when I go out into the world, I got to do a little dance and do the dance with authenticity and truth, not do the dance with falsity. The moment you're tuned into that falsity of, oh, I am so and so and I have to plan. What planning? What planning? Simply you'll put down this some pointers, right? Like we write the grocery list. I'm not saying I don't write the grocery list. I write the grocery list, but there's no attachments to it, whether it's going to be done or I give the list to somebody, whether he or she or whoever is going to bring the whole thing for me. Not a problem. That's where I want you to drop. You make all the planning, whether you're a teacher, you're a therapist, the days, how many sessions, all that blah, blah, right? I'm just giving you a basic thing because how will you come to that pure state of silence? How long are you going to be buying into all of this nonsense? You know, you have to drop it sometime. And okay, as a therapist, the job is gone. You want that or you want freedom? You know, so if you want freedom, folks, just inner renunciation, inner renunciation. So what I'm saying is when you look at it diligently, looking at the mind and saying what it's, oh, here it comes again. You're very intelligent. You're aware. Your awareness itself, and at not for a single second or millisecond is the awareness absent. Okay, it is always present, and it's okay if you have the deep dark, days of the soul or whatever. You know, it's okay if it's like you have dark days and you're very depressed and all that stuff. It's okay. You're simply looking at it and you're dropping it, and you go through that. You have to go through that, right, to drop it, because the vasanas and the karmas are coming up to be released. For every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is called karma. So we have just been goofballs. You've done something in the past lifetimes, whatever, but what are you doing here? You're sitting here in the satsang. Don't you think you have to pay a little bit attention to that awareness which is presenting itself all the time and telling you, oh, here is your mind, don't go for that? Where is your vairagya? Where is your discretion when you're interacting with all of this nonsense from the jagat, podiums and this and that? Just drop everything. If you want to come to the pure silence within you, I'm telling you, if you come to the pure silence, there's nothing more grand and magnificent than that in this freaking world. Nothing. Because once you come to that state and you realize that everything is transitory, everything is illusory, then when you are in that state, you will come to to enjoying the beauty also of creation. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the Ashtamurtis, which is all the beautiful nature, everything. No, you'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it beautifully. You'll be a wholesome, authentic person. And then comes your freedom. You're walking in freedom because you're not waiting for accolades. You're not waiting for, somebody to tell you, oh, you did a great job. So what? You're put there as a therapist, you're put there as a professor, you're put there as a surgeon, CEO, whatever you're doing, or some little job, whatever it is. So when you're doing that, you're doing it with love, unconditional love, and saying, okay, Shambhu has given me this job in this lifetime. Let me do it to the best of my ability. I'm not asking you anything more than the best of your ability. Now, having said all of that, that's like a high, tall order, right? But having said all that, how do you come to the silence every moment when you say you're going through a really horrible, incident in your life and you're being traumatized by it? You go through with it. After you go through with it and you simply sit for 2 minutes, what is present? Is the trauma still present? Maybe present in a light way, but if you simply sit and say, 2 minutes, I'm going to drop this, what presents itself is that awareness, is that pure silence. Just look and see right now. Drop for 2 minutes. Okay, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Right now, close your eyes. Drop all of your agendas, drop all of your trauma drama, everything. Because I'm not saying I don't have trauma drama. Everybody, as long as we are in this world, we have it. So how can you rise above it? So you just drop everything this moment. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Exhale out all of the traumas, all of that imperfections or lacks that you feel you have. And simply just be in that silence. Whatever was said by Ma, if that is agitating your mind, drop that also. Slowly come out. How are you all feeling now? That's all it takes, folks. A few minutes of sitting down and connecting to source, which is that pure essence of yourself. It is the pure silence. Even if the mind is going chattering, if you make an intention that I want to just connect to this supreme reality within me, which is my natural self, that is your natural self, not of all of these other things that are presenting. The world is going to present you with all kinds of things. Who are you? Why are you picking up these things? And also, it's not a podium to for satsang. I'm talking about the QAnon or whatever the thing is. It's not a place for samvit sadhakas, and it's not a place to send to anybody in the satsang or anywhere else, on Facebook or anything. Don't do it. If you're a samvit sadhaka and you want to continue to be a samvit sadhaka, that's my request, not to continue this. It's just nonsense. It's a waste of your time and energy. And you're just, encouraging toxicity. We don't need that right now. We need unconditional love, togetherness, looking at everybody as your own, because the self is only one. I mean, these are your sadhakas. How are you going to, inspire people around you by just being silent and not doing any of this stuff? It's coming so strongly because that is you need to do that. You need to drop that to come to that pure silence of your vastness. If you say, I can't see the magnificence Ma you're talking about, that's why you can't see it. Because you got all of this filled up your agendas, how to just simply sit. If you don't have anything to do, you've done 2 hours of meditation in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, whatever, the rest of the day, go take a walk, be in the Ashtamurtis. If you're in Arunachala, just stare at the mountain. I used to stare at it for hours, never got tired, because that's when the purification happens in a cellular level. First of all, in the cellular level, it happens, the grace transmission, because Arunachala only is flowing. It's the fire element. So it's all taken care of. This one is not doing anything. So believe in that, purify your lives. You don't need anything. The advanced students don't need to do anything else except follow what I'm saying to come to that exquisite stillness within you. You don't need to do anything, because the stillness itself permeates like a ripple effect in the universe. Okay. Because one time I was, I've shared this with you. I was in Arizona meditating for 6 months with no family connection, nothing. And this person came and asked me, like, do you know, can I meditate with you? And I said, sure. And then he started meditating. And then he kind of said, he was like psychic or whatever. And he said, like, do you know that when you're sitting here and meditating, I was in a teeny tiny condo or apartment or whatever. The first floor, of course, I didn't want to go climb, and it was just, I think it was attached home or something. And he said, do you know, like when you meditate, how the ripple effect is going through not only the city, Phoenix, but it's going through Arizona and the state and then beyond that. I didn't even speak a word to anybody, and there was only silence following. That's what I'm saying. You don't really need to be flamboyant and put all kinds of things on there. Maybe it's something that you feel like doing, but think twice before you put, because if you're putting a lot of verbiage, right? It's a lot of verbiage to read. Then your mind has to go. Whoever you think you're inspiring, their mind has to come in to look at it. Yeah, for a few minutes it'll be inspiring, but then the mind has to come back to think about what is written. Is that what we need to do? You have to come to the pure silence, the essence of your beingness, which is not that. Okay. So, having said that, when you drop all of this, what remains is only the pure silence. What else can I talk about that, anything more than that, pure silence? Because once you drop all these agendas and you say, just take me and make me anything you want. Okay. When you're in that supreme silence by yourself, it will, present itself something to do. But when the busy mind comes and says, oh, this is very inspirational for this person, that person, kind of take a step back and say, no, I want to sit for a little longer. I don't want to really do this, you know. And some of you have been following, actually, I got this unbelievable. Tamra Jones, I really appreciate your email this morning. I was really moved to tears. I couldn't get out of the space for a long time. I was moved to tears because your name came up in my meditation. It just, I guess you were trying to reach me. I don't know how these miracles happen. These are the miracles, folks, not anything of that social media. These are the miracles. The connectivity with the Guru principle, or just between yourselves or something, just the connection to the higher self within you, right? So thank you so much for the email. I may share with folks maybe a few paragraphs. It's a long email, and every sentence, every word you've written, I appreciate it. That is because you listened to what was said. I think way back last year or something in JCC. I remember the day very well because we also put it in, I think, replay or something, or maybe it's even on YouTube. I'm not sure. But I really appreciate you because you have paid attention and you just followed the truth. And look where you are right now. Look where you are. What she said was a neighbor who was harassing her after he owned the property for 40 years, it's on sale. This is what happens because I told her like to be strong and not to fall for that and everything. Anyway, she's written a beautifully. Maybe I'll read some parts of it now. So what I'm saying, why I'm even saying these things is because there is an outlet. This can be dropped. All of you think the karmas, all of that can be dropped. And how can it be dropped? By knowing and understanding the supreme knowledge, which is given to you in such a simple way. All of the Vedantic truths are given to you in simple way. Like kindergarten, I'm just like, self is breaking up things and telling you. It's like not a big, you know, huge effort or anything like that. It's very simple. It's not rocket science, really, we're talking about. But it becomes a rocket science when you're so attached to the ego mind and your doership. Very important thing to drop the doership. The people who are really suffering is because they think they have to do all of these things. I told you, drop your name and form and the doership, and then everything will just flow in your life. Because why it will flow is because you've surrendered yourself to the higher source within you. And that takes a lot of courage. I mean, I understand, I feel your pulse. And a lot of you say the fear came up. And the last thing, I don't remember who it was. The anger comes up and the fear comes up. Okay? Why does the anger comes up naturally? If the anger comes up, it's very toxic, and the fear also is coming. But it's coming up to be released. And I'm glad, now I remember, I'm glad that she got over it. And it's in a supreme state right now after the grace transmission. So it's everything is coming to you. There is nothing there that it's been left out or something. And I'm giving you just some watered down satsang. It's not watered down. It may sound very simple. We don't have any slides to entertain you or anything like that. But if you listen to the simple words, you can just be there today, this moment. When you took that few seconds off, how did you feel? How did you feel? Many of you say that, um, I went so deep, I don't remember what you said in the rest of the satsang. There are those naughty ones too, you see. But anyway, I'll just, and then I also have a beautiful, beautiful poem written by our beloved one, which will come. I'll just read a few sentences of this because those of you who you are going through the similar things will understand if you just open yourself and if you simply let go, what magic can happen. Magnificence. Dear Sharadama, thank you from the bottom of my heart for hosting Zoom satsangs. I especially wanted to thank you. In the fall, I messaged you. When I had a lot of anxiety, I could not drop no matter how I tried. At that time, I knew it was ridiculous, but the trauma of the nasty neighbor was making my body tremble in fear, and I could not control the shaking. It was a Saturday before Zoom Satsang, and I had zero expectation the message would have even reached you that day. However, about an hour later, I had the strongest experience. I noticed all at once, like a switch had been turned off, my body and mind felt complete stillness. See, this is what I'm saying. It felt complete stillness. You have to do the Sharanagati, okay? Or you have to at least try. So, what she tried was writing the email to me and reaching out and saying, I'm like going through this, right? Like a switch has been turned off. My body and mind felt complete stillness. This is what I'm saying. To come to that pure stillness, pure silence that I talked about, you have to drop all of this. I wonder if I just felt the grace of Shardama. Maybe she read my message. Question mark. A few hours later on Zoom, Satsang, you spoke to me directly, sternly. I listened closely and carefully to every word. This is the key point. See, when she says Shardama, yes, I'm very humbled by it, by the recognition, but Shardama is not the one who's speaking. So, how correctly the self speaks to the one who needs to hear a certain thing or a certain sentence or a message, that's what it is. It's coming directly to you. So, what should you be doing? Paying attention, because that may never come again in this mouth. To be brave. So she listened to me saying, be brave. This is all an illusion coming from the ego, that my memory of childhood abuse and whatever it's creating bullies in the present moment. Drop that. Do not put self in that prison. My true endeavor is moksha. Do not be baffled by what is going on. This was what she was thinking about. Just say, I do not understand, but I surrender to your lotus feet, Lord. You did a transmission with me that day, and I had the courage and focus to drop caps. It's all in caps, drop it. Thank you. I wrote down what you told me and I practiced this afterward. This is called paying attention and having commitment to the path. Writing things down. I know a lot of you have taken down notes. Writing things down and looking at your lacks, looking deeply. Where is that it's sabotaging me? Okay, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but if something is sabotaging you and if something is bringing you to the suffering mode, a trauma mode, or discomfort in the body, so discomfort in the body comes from, some incapacities, right? Some emotions coming up or whatever. And sometimes, discomfort may come even otherwise. That is called the vasanas, right? Sometimes the vasanas are so deep, the physical body comes up. Thank you for helping me remember my courage. I felt courage, and this helped me find same brave energy feeling in myself. It was like a spell I'd fallen under, got broken in that moment. That's all it takes. That moment. So absolutely expect that moment in the satsangs. I know I told you no expectations, but if you have done the sankalpa perfectly, and if you had the pure intention, you're just finished. She says, update not to celebrate yet, in brackets, but this bully neighbor who has owned the condo for 40 years suddenly has a for sale sign. Moving would be a wonderful change. Now just look at that. This is the miracles I'm talking about. You don't worry about that person is bothering me. He's bothering you because you have an incapacity within yourself, bringing up all your childhood traumas, like which was explained to her. And that's in general for everybody. Oh, when I was a child, this is what my father did, my mother did. How old are you now? Why are you still sitting with those traumas? We have work to do. Get rid of all the traumas. What the work to do now is what? Coming to that pure silence of your awareness, which is presenting itself every moment. It's simply there for your taking. I don't have to do anything. I'll be jabbing something and simply I sit for 2 minutes. There it is. You don't even have to ask. It simply presents itself. Why? Because it's there every second. It's not that it's not present. It's always present. I understand on my end I must do the work to drop the illusory world, or else I draw it to myself and get tangled up. I have learned a lot from you through satsang. Last satsang after meditation transmission, you could tell some of us were still in fear. That's what it comes up. I don't know anything. It just comes up. Okay, some children are in fear. I think I spoke about that. They are coming at me. They are coming at me. I'm not safe. the trauma feeling she got. It was me. I was one of the people allowing that fear to creep up during meditation from a current family drama, blah, blah, blah. Again, you gave powerful words for us to drop and attach ourselves to infinite God, not to believe in that illusion. Again, I broke through my haze and I realized I have to get very tough here and do my work to keep my focus on the limitless supreme reality. Thank you again. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that's you got the gist. So she has realized that I have to be tough here. It needs a lot of courage, folks. You can't just sit there and futz around and do some of the worldly things, then come back and then say, oh, Ma didn't give me a session. Everything is preordained. I have nothing to do with it. If you didn't get a session, look within and say, where is your incapacities? Are you really focused on the path of realization? Are you really focused, wanting to go delve deeper? Or you want to do the worldly stuff? You choose. I'm here to serve you. But if that authenticity and the true effort is not put, even Ramana Maharshi says, the gurus are all there. It's a done deal when you find a guru, but you have to also put a little bit of effort. And that's what I'm talking about. This little effort is dropping everything to come to that pure silence within you, which is free, totally free. Okay. So, and thank you for reminding me of courage. Okay, of courage. Then she also writes about a story that you told us helped me tremendously, and that was the story when I was on the mountain and my guru said jump and going into the other mountain. Remember, I don't have to go through the whole thing, but my Swamiji said jump, Sharada, and he was on the other mountain, which was like I don't know how many hundreds of feet, and I was, we landed at the end of Arunachala, top of Arunachala, and he was there somewhere else in the mountains in Himalayas, which I've been there and visited. And he just said, you want to jump? And I said, oh, that's like freaking crazy because, I mean, there's no way I can jump. It's not possible physically in the physical body. But I said, what the heck? If I fall, then I'll be just like, broken bones. And that's okay too. Why shouldn't I try it right now? I just have faith in my guru. I'll do it. Just jumped. And I was there on the other side and he was standing next to me. So that's what she's talking about. Faith and total surrender. And you jumped. And that helped me feel a new trust grow in me. And that's okay to let everything go and jump. That holding on by my fingernails is not serving me. I'm realizing I'm holding on to nothing. I'm realizing my safety comes from letting go. That liberation is possible. And when the illusions pop, they pop. Okay, just look at the depth of our understanding. That's all I'm asking you to do. Simply understand your supreme reality. Understand and take away from the satsangs. Because whatever is spoken is for you. For you. It's only for you, folks. You're my beloved ones. Don't ever forget that for a moment. I love you. And if the ego comes and I have to hassle with the ego, that's not you. That's not your innocent you. I'm just trying to get the ego, drop you, and so that's basically what I wanted to tell you. And now when all of this happens, when all of this integration happens and you're in that pure silence that we talked about, you can be in that silence. And that's why I say meditation, meditation, meditation. But if you can't even come to that every day, if this drama is coming at you, simply sit. It's okay, right? You simply sit and look at it, Sakshi. And one beloved student said that when you said about Sakshi, which is means witness, that it just hit her like a ton of bricks. And now she's always witnessing when something comes up. Oh, you've not planned for your business. You've not done this. You've not done all your little work. And she said like, yeah, that's the normal thing I do, but why should I do it? She simply sat and looked at it, sat with it in silence, and she felt that there was nothing there. When she came back to look at it, there was absolutely nothing there. And the divine took over and sent her 4 clients. How do you say this? This is the miracles I'm talking about. Here and now, you can be free. It doesn't mean that only, I've told you this so many times that, if you're planning, if you say, I have to do this, I have to do this, it's mediocrity. You're just mediocre. Your life is mediocre. If you do Sharanagati and say, okay, take it over, you'll do your little work. I'm not saying no, you'll do your little work. But the ultimate thing is not having an expectation, oh, I've done my work, so I must do this. I'm a professor, I'm doing this. All my students have to give me accolades. It doesn't work that way. Do your best and drop the rest. Do your best and drop the freaking rest. And then simply cling on to his lotus feet, like we say in India, but simply surrendering to that immensity within you. Okay, within you only. I'm not saying surrender to this one. Then you'll never find yourself, right? And also when you're following, this what came up to me right now about, when you're following somebody and somebody else's energy, right? Like somebody was saying, it's come from other, gurus and stuff like that. And this person was following and he can feel the energy of the other person and he feels great and meditations are fantastic. Okay, you keep on going there, but you're still saying, I'm not in silence, or I'm not reaching where you're telling me. There's a problem. That means you have to drop that also, See, when I tell the truth, some of you don't like it, but what can I do? If I don't tell you the truth, you'll be in the same way till next 20 years because you're banking on the energy of somebody else. What about your own energy? You're that infinite self and God is within you. God without form means, okay, you say you're very close to Jesus or you're close to Krishna, whoever. Initially, you'll have that, right? But after that, you go without form and see that formless Parabrahman. The Sanskrit word would say formless Parabrahman, but it's only the formless essence of the universe, which creates everything, which, it gets rid of it also. So when you look at that and you say, for this minute, I'll sit alone without any agendas, without any attachments to my old meditations, and let me just sit in silence and believe and have the same faith that from that silence will emanate this significant essence of the universe and presenting itself, saying, darling, I was just waiting for you. That's what God says and picks you up, okay? And simply radiates through you. What more do you want? That silence radiating through you. What more do you want? You don't need anything more than that. Okay, so I'll read the poem of this wonderful uh, beloved one. Very, very fond of him, just like I'm fond of all of you. And he is the most wonderful soul. And it's not that he's fallen down and getting up, fallen down, getting up, but this is like the getting up, you know. And the beauty is, anytime we had our privates, he always used to smile and laugh, whenever I told him anything. Oh, did I miss it? He would just laugh and he'll say, I know, ma, I know, ma, I know what you mean. It is like the childishness of accepting what is given to you. What does the Guru principle do? Wants fulfillment for you. If I just smack you on your head or something, it's not because I enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy doing it. It's just that I poke you because you please awaken. You are quite capable of it. You're all sitting here and I see the radiant you that is quite capable of coming to this pure silence. That's where all the speaking happens today. Look at the way it's going. I mean, I don't know who is even talking. So this was after the last live Zoom, because so many of you gave me such, beautiful feedbacks. I thought, well, let me just do another live Zoom. Okay, it's only because of you. If that yearning and if that thing, sankalpa means, that intention is there, oh, it'll be so nice to have another satsang live Zoom. There it is. Because I'm not the doer. The message comes from all of you through the Supreme. So he says, the title is as if. Sing as if you are the most elegant songbird. Dance as if you are free. So this thing you will understand when I say, when you have all these traumas and dramas and you've not really come home or you're not come to full realization, In between, what do you do? Between now and that process or whatever, you are the supreme reality right now. So act like that. Like you are free right now. Okay. In the moment, you're so happy, you're content, you're grateful. Gratitude is a beautiful thing. Humility and gratitude, if you have those two, it's finished. I mean, everything will come from that, arise from that and say, drop this one. You don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need that person in your life who brings you trauma. All of that will come naturally. So, from that point of view, this poem is very relevant. Sing as if you are the most elegant songbird. Dance as if you are freed. Smile as if you see your beloved. Cry as if you are spring feeding a thirsty plant. Cook as if you have an honored guest. Like he was telling me, like, I don't know why I don't cook for myself. I feel like only when somebody comes, I should cook. So cook as though you have an honored guest. Every day, make it the best food for yourself or for a beloved one or whoever. Breathe as if the last breath you want to remember, right? Breathe as if like that. If that was your last breath, how would you like to remember yourself? That's beautiful. Observe as if the first time your eyes see. Listen as if you do not know anything. See, that's like the childlike, no? What all the great masters say. If you can be a child and sit in front of the masters, you will simply drink it up. And I think I gave you a beautiful example of this little boy who was doing seva, the sun god. There was an ashram and there were 4 or 5 sages who were doing this extreme sun god prayers, right? They were doing like tapasya, very intense tapasya, not ordinary like us. We are all just doing it a little bit. They were doing intense, and so one day they had an emergency and they had to go leave the town. And so this little boy was like, he's not learned, he doesn't know Sanskrit, he doesn't know the pujas, nothing, but he's been helping them to set up the puja every morning. He was a little guy and little bit dumb, kind of. So they told him, okay, you think you'll handle this, and you have to say the prayers. And there's grantha. Grantha means a huge book, like the Bible and the Vedas, huge book on Surya Bhagavan, this sun god. You have to pray. He says, Swamiji, I don't know how to say the prayers, but I've seen you. I'll follow everything. So he followed everything. And 1 month later, this teachers came back, and it was late night. It was dark. Everything was dark. And then he saw them coming and he came running down the pathway, because a long pathway and in the ashram, came running down the pathway. And they're all looking at this ball of sun, right? Ball of light, brilliant ball of light rolling down the pathway. And they're saying, what the heck? I mean, what is Surya Bhagavan doing here? That's the example. Because he just completely, like a child said, kept the book there and said, Bhagavan Surya, I don't know all of these prayers, but I'm doing cleaning and washing and putting the flowers and everything for you. I surrender to the lotus feet. Every day he prayed with diligence and love, so much love for God. And then Surya Bhagavan appeared and said, my child, what do you want? It's just the most beautiful prayer. I'm touched by your prayer. And he says, oh, I don't want anything. Did I do okay? And God said, no problem. You did better than all of these other people. He says, oh, no, no, no. They are my gurus. And he said, what do you want? He said, I don't know. I don't need anything. He really didn't need anything. Can you come to that? No, we're full of wants. I need a little bit of this. I want a little bit of that. Can you come to that wantless state and say like, no, I don't need anything because you're taken care of every moment. Do you have that faith? So he had that faith. And Surya said, no, I have to at least give you one drop of my essence because you've done so much for me and I'm so pleased. And he simply blesses him. That drop of that Surya was that big ball of light. So can you be like that? See, listen as if you do not know anything. You see, brilliant. It's brilliant. Smell the flower as if she has a secret message to you. Give as if there is no end to its source. This is the beauty of generosity. Give as though there's no end to the source. That's so true, beautiful. Because when you start giving, the source keeps multiplying. It's multiplying. Even if you give in a small way, with what authenticity you're giving, no? You're thinking that is also my child, that is also my beloved, that is also my student, whoever. You're giving with so much of love, like you're giving for yourself. That purity, that authenticity is what makes that source emanate more for you. I mean, it just simply grows and grows. Say Akshaya Patra, in India we say Akshaya Patra. Means that Patra is a vessel that never gets depleted. Keep on pouring, it will keep on giving you. Receive as if sun is warming you up on a chilly day. You receive like that. Humbled, you receive beautifully. Never say no. Internalize the sunset as if your soul stores the best images. So store the best images. When you're in satsang, you feel something, store that images. And you take that as a memory. And say when you're like drowned in this, kleshas, rubbish of your nonsensical mind coming up, you bring that memory. Oh, what did I feel for a few seconds at satsang or anywhere else? Or this person entered my life. My friend gave me so many beautiful hugs. You know, think of those memories. And that will elevate you. That will bring you to the full supreme joy that you are this very moment. One kiss on your cheek your child gave, you'll remember that. No? Hug as if it is the last hug to remember. Hug as if it's the last hug to remember. Stay still, so that you can feel the oneness. This is what I'm saying. Unless you stay still, unless you come to the pure stillness, you cannot feel any essence. You cannot feel the vibrations around you. You cannot feel how authentic the other person is, because before that, you're only finding faults with the other person. If you come from that state, you're seeing the authenticity of that person, which may be different from you, but it's also authentic, it's also truthful. They're doing the best they can, right? Then life becomes a joy. Listen to silence so that you can hear the music. Listen to silence so you can hear the music. So that's why we say silence is the very screen and essence of your whole life. That's why silence is a screen of consciousness. It's the essence of your whole life. It's beautiful. Love so that you can experience yourself. Love so that you can experience yourself. That pure love. When you give it to others, first of all, you have to love yourself just the way you are, with all of its kleshas, whatever. You don't care. At this moment, I'm telling you. That's where the power of now, power of now. In the moment, I'm telling you, accept everything the way you are, and then slowly start delving deep and seeing who is that immensity, who is that awareness, what is that awareness, what is that presence that absolutely empowers my puny little life. Look at that and rise above it. So if you love yourself, you can experience yourself. Just love so that you can experience yourself. So that's the end of the poem, and that was by Sherwin Hojat. I really appreciate you, Sherwin. Thank you for allowing me to share this with the group. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You're back on the saddle. Now, no dropping, no falling down. I'll catch you. So thank you so much for all the beautiful thing. And, it took a long time today talking, but I think everything needed to be said. And, whatever this little, I call guru principle or whatever this is, okay, it's filled with courage. Okay, I'm not afraid of speaking the truth, because whom else am I going to speak to? Because you're sitting here and wanting the truth. Whatever I've said today, chop, if you want to come to deeper. See, infinite. You want to experience the infinite within you. Infinite itself. What is infinite? Never ending. Infinite, not a finite little thing. It's never ending. So as you're delving deeper, I cannot say I'm all full and I'm full all the time, but I can't say I'm all done, because that ain't the truth, you know. But I am free now. That's where I want you to come to. You are free, but the deeper, pure silence, you're delving into every moment, and you will see how beautiful and spectacular life can be. Everything is provided. It seems like it's not provided because you do not have faith and you do not believe that it will be provided. If you say it will be provided, and I'm prepared, okay, I'm prepared to go without food for 4 days, or I get a piece of toast, it's all okay. Is that the only thing we can think of? Eating, and I also told last time about the physical body. You have excruciating pain, or physical body, ill health, or financial thing. It does not matter, folks. The body ain't going to get perfect. If you say that, let me get the body perfect and then I'll come to freedom, ain't going to happen. Parallelly, it's a parallel path. You have to do both, but your focus has to be in the highest endeavor, which is enlightenment, moksha, freedom of the little self, delving deep into the infinite you, the ancient you. Okay. Thank you so much for being patient and listening to all this. It's important. We'll start the transmission. Sit comfortably. Take in a deep breath, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale, releasing and dropping any agitation that came up for you during the talk, and letting go and just being your supreme reality, your simple self. Start with simplicity and stillness, and you'll see the majestic self present all the time. Deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love, and exhale, dropping even further, witnessing the dropping, allowing the dropping. One last deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love, and exhale. Now just sit in beingness. You don't have to be this or that, just be. Slowly come out. Don't open your eyes yet. Take in a gentle breath, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Releasing everything that needs to be dropped. And being totally okay with it, with dropping everything. Deep inhalation, inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Dropping all the attachments that came up and accepting whatever presence in our lives. One last time, deep inhalation. Inhaling light, peace, love. And exhale. Continuing to be in that beingness and pure silence that you truly are, even though we are coming out. You're in a deep altered state, so be very gentle to yourself. Take it easy today. Drink a lot of water. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for attending. I hope it was beneficial. Please give me any feedbacks. Send us your feedbacks, any questions. I love you. Jai Shankar. Jai Shankar. Bye-bye.